Welcome to the Simply Incredible Podcast. This is Daryl, a.k.a. The D, here with T. Rizzo George Abner.
Hey, we're back.
And JP couldn't make tonight, so he is now officially just a guest on the show.
Every now and then.
Yeah, Blue Moon.
Every now and then. He's batting 500.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I thought he was going to actually come last week when we weren't here.
Dude, if you pull something like that, you actually have to do the walk of shame around the parking lot. If we close the martial arts school here and told everybody and somebody shows up, the rule is they have to walk 2 laps around the parking lot. We have cameras. We know if you do or if you don't.
That's awesome.
PZ, you got to do the walk of shame.
Walk of shame. Tonight's podcast is going to be, originally it was planned to be conspiracies, but as one of our subscribers said, did the government get to you? Is that why the podcast of conspiracies is getting pushed back a week?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, no, not at all. We did this on purpose.
No.
Not the government.
The guys in black are friendly.
Friendly guys. That hurt, though.
Dude, I tell you what, I've had a visit from some government types that you would not want visits from.
Were they just named by letters?
No, they were looking for somebody.
Oh,
and I was like, haven't seen that dude forever. I don't know him. I don't know who he is.
I haven't seen him in 2 weeks. Who are we talking about again? I don't know.
I'm not mentioning his name. I don't want this out on the air.
Right.
They did. They came looking. It's like, hi, we're looking for so-and-so. And I was like, oh, my gosh. And I said, no, I haven't seen him in a lot of years, actually. And they said, okay. Well, look, we're going to leave our card with you. If you do happen to see him, let us know. I was like, yeah, definitely. Okay. Yeah. Sorry I couldn't help you. And I could tell these guys, they
weren't joking around.
No, they weren't. And I know a guy, I can't even say, he's involved in some high-level government, work. And I told him and showed him the card. He goes, look, what I do makes people nervous. He goes, if these guys came to my door, I'd be nervous.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, my God.
Wow.
What did so-and-so do?
Man, I don't even want to know anything about this conversation we're having right now.
I'm being as vague as possible, which is the worst thing you could do for a story. They're like, why would you even mention that? It's like, I don't know.
But it was a good story.
It's a good story.
Good story. Today's going to basically be a sports podcast, but mainly UFC, but a couple little things to begin with. One, the Olympics. They'll be starting in a few weeks, I believe. Maybe next month or something.
It kills me. When I was a kid, I always was very, very, very much up on the Olympics when they were happening.
Yeah.
This thing is looking like it's snuck in as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. I'm like, what, is it time for that already?
Yeah. And
I haven't heard anything.
What's getting me is, well, two things. One is I usually see a lot of the qualifying stuff. I haven't seen any of this stuff. Nothing on TV anywhere. I'm sure it's on TV. I'm just missing it.
My kids are swimmers.
Mm-hmm.
So the swimmers, when I go to the events, are all looking or saying, hey, did you catch the trials? I was like, no, I didn't even know they were on.
Yeah.
And I was like, is Phelps in this? And they go, oh, yeah, man, he's in here. I was like, how do I not know?
The only reason I know that Phelps is in it because I heard on the radio today that he qualified for something. I just don't know what. Usain Bolt qualified, and he has like a strained hamstring. He still qualifies.
Oh, he's the man.
I was like, how can you be that fast, have a bad hamstring, and still outrun people?
Well, dude, he's
insane.
He looks like he was actually manufactured in a laboratory to be a perfect swimming machine. But you know why I don't think I'm even up on the fact that it's out?
Mm-hmm.
I do not watch any of the major networks anymore.
Yeah.
ABC, NBC, CBS, even, CW, Fox, all those, none of them.
I watch like specific shows. That's it,
dude. Netflix, YouTube, and my computer, and that's it.
There you go. You have like Hulu or any of those other things? Or
I don't. In fact, I've been thinking about dropping DirecTV. My kids watch, Disney, and I watch TV Land every now and then, so I can watch Everybody Loves Raymond, and stuff like King of Queens.
It's a great show.
But I don't watch anything else, so I'm thinking, I'm going to ditch DirecTV, go with Netflix and Hulu, and maybe like an antenna where you get the major networks if I wanted to watch the news.
Yeah.
Oh. It's still cheaper, I think.
Now, one thing about the Olympics, I've been hearing in the last 3 weeks, there's been about 7 or 8 kind of high-profile athletes dropping out of the Olympics because they're afraid of the Zika virus.
Now,
please don't ask me what the Zika virus is.
I was going to ask you, what's the Zika virus? Now, I've heard about it because, like...
Flesh eating, I don't know, but apparently it's very deadly.
It's mosquito-driven, right?
Yeah.
My mom being a mom,
Mm-hmm.
told me, she goes, hey, you just make sure that you don't have any like standing water around the house.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually had some that, I was like, maybe I better take care of it. Like a couple of buckets that the rainwater had filled up.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I don't need anything like that. They said it's going to be really bad, though.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't imagine ditching the Olympics.
That's one of the things I was going to say. Now, I can't imagine thinking, I've worked my whole life for this moment.
But there's a chance I could get bit by this.
Yeah.
Now.
And they were saying on some of the beaches that they have found some diseases that are, how do they say it, that antibiotics won't affect.
Oh, geez.
I'm like, yeah, I'm not going. I mean, now the ones that have said they weren't going were like millionaires, like some of these high-profile golfers and some of the basketball players and stuff like that. They're the ones that said they weren't going. Not like the ping pong players and stuff like that.
The big dudes.
Yeah.
Wow.
These guys have a ton of money. Like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to make this trip.
Yeah, it'd be a hard sell if you were already kind of looked at as one of the best in the world.
Yeah.
That's just another game to you.
Yeah.
Ping pong, that's everything.
You ever watch ping pong?
No.
Oh my goodness, it's a thing to watch.
Really?
It's insane what these people can do.
No, never seen it. I
What?
mean, Forrest Gump,
Yeah.
Bruce Lee,
Well,
with a...
Well, honestly, you watch Forrest Gump, it almost looks like that.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I've seen a couple little things on YouTube about it, but I've never sat and said, okay, I'm gonna follow this competition through. Ching Wang Dayang is up against, Sven.
I guess Ralph.
Yeah, Ralph.
As I was watching a documentary the other day, because I like playing ping pong. I was like, there's an actual documentary.
On ping pong?
Yes.
Dude.
And it was called Top Spin. It's on Netflix.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's about these younger kids out there trying to make it to the Olympics and stuff. And it's really cool.
What's your favorite documentary about something like that?
If it's about ping pong, there's only one.
No, yeah, I was going to say,
I mean, I have documentaries. Wow, I've watched so many documentaries. I love them now.
dude, there's a couple that I actually own on video that I will take and watch over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
One is about big wave surfing called Riding Giants.
Mm-hmm.
That is just incredible.
That's something I actually love watching too. Watching these tournaments,
Dude.
And you see them, they get in that tube.
You would love this.
And they come flying out, and you see where it crashes right behind them.
Dude, you
the
would love
water's
it.
spitting out at them. Like,
It's
that's
the
insane.
history. So it's like they're going through, like, how it started and the big guys back in the day in the 50s and 60s and how it's an amazing document. It's so
That's
cool. And the guy who was the director is Stacy Peralta.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah,
famous skateboarder.
Yeah.
And once I found out that's who it was,
Lords of Dogtown. That's what. Yeah.
that's the other one
Yeah.
that I watched was the Lords of Dogtown because it was his same style.
Yeah.
Those are my favorites.
Oh, that Lords of Dogtown stuff. That
That's
was great.
That is awesome, right?
That is amazing.
So sorry, little left turn from
Those are
the
sports.
ZK.
Those
Yeah,
are
right. Those are
They're
sports.
sports.
Yeah.
But now here's what I was going to ask. If you had trained all the time, would you risk it?
Oh yeah, I would.
What if you were one of those people that had to be like canoeing out in that water?
No, I would not. No.
That's exactly what my thought was. If I'm like at a basketball court or
I might sit it
like
out.
badminton or something,
If
yeah,
it was
okay,
in the
I can
ocean,
make
yeah.
that. I can do that. I'm not swimming in the ocean.
Welcome. You're going to the Amazon.
Triathletes, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Everything in this water will kill you. I don't know what accent that was, but he was a representative from the Olympics.
Yes.
Pretty sure that was from Johnny Quest.
I love that. I
Haji.
just bought the second comic today, or
Haji.
last week it was. I love that stuff. By the way, there's a Flintstone comic out too.
Is it good?
I have not read that yet, but they don't look anything like the Flintstones, and that really upsets me.
No way, really?
Yeah, they don't have that same old TV look.
What do they look like?
Not the Flintstones. I think they were trying to go more like the movie look with Goodman and what's her name?
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. But now there's one variant cover that I get. We've kind of gone a little bit astray here, but one of the variant covers has them like taking a selfie, and in the back of the camera,
selfie. The Flintstones doing a selfie. Hold on, we have a guest here.
We like guests.
Hey, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah,
this is
come
my
on
good
in.
friend Brett
This is
Jefferson.
Brett.
Oh,
What is that?
hey, we've been getting Christian one week, Chris from Untamed Worlds, and now one of the top superstar fighters of the MMA world that nobody's heard of yet, but you will one day, Brett Jefferson.
I hope so.
he goes, don't make the pressure.
I don't want to be a CM Punk here.
Oh, and he's gonna be brought up later in the
Hey, I was
podcast.
gonna say that was one of the actual things we were gonna talk about. What happened? Did you need me for some managerial?
You have a guest downstairs who is interested in signing into the Edge.
Oh,
He's got
fantastic.
questions about Wing Chun and stuff like that. I'm like, oh wait, we learned that stuff.
Oh,
here.
we
Wow.
actually know that.
Yeah.
Daryl, let me ask you. We've never done this. Is it possible to put the podcast on pause for a quick break of?
This is the one of the test of my editing skills. Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Hey, we're gonna break right now for a quick commercial.
Hey, can you edit me so that I sound cool?
I don't
Is that
think he has
possible?
that kind of equipment.
Oh.
Dude.
Sounds cool, yeah.
I've asked him. He doesn't have anything for me. You're out of luck,
I
bro.
still sound like a goober.
All right, excellent. We'll be back after this short message from our sponsor, the D.
And positive. And we're back from that commercial break. That was some good stuff.
Hey, man, I tell you what, I love their product.
Yeah, I know. It's much better than I had anticipated. And thank you, by the way. So Olympics, I think we've covered that pretty well. But there's a couple little things I did want to talk about. Baseball, the All-Star game was Monday, and they announced that they were changing the name of the American League and the National League Batting Champion Award.
What are they called right now?
I don't think they even had a name.
Oh,
I think they're just National League Batting Champion and American League Batting Champion.
I got you.
But they changed the National League to the Tony Gwynn National League Batting Champion. And
You're a huge fan, right?
I'm a huge fan of Tony Gwynn. He was such a great guy. Unfortunately, cancer got him.
Oh, how long ago?
I think it was last year.
Oh, wow.
You know, from dipping all those years, and
Yeah.
they. Last time I saw him was on a documentary, and part of his face had started getting kind of gnarled away.
Oh, dude.
And
That's rough, man. That
And he was a guy, always had that huge smile on his face. Just everybody loved this guy. So, and it was so great. The All-Star game was in San Diego, and they made that announcement there. But they also announced that the American League Batting Championship would be called the Rod Carew Award.
Oh,
And growing up, I mean, this guy,
he was amazing.
he was like a magician with the bat.
Yeah, he was
Like,
amazing.
if he wanted to serve to left field, that's where the ball was going. It didn't really matter what was being thrown. Left field, he was just an amazing hitter, and it was great for me to hear that growing up in the 80s and
Yeah.
early 90s. I love these guys. Well, Carew retired in the mid 80s.
Yeah.
But loved it. So I thought that was something that I really wanted to throw out there. Big shout out to those guys. And Rod Carew was actually there to accept that with his
Okay, so
family.
he's still with us.
Yeah,
All right,
and he looked really good still.
No
really,
kidding.
really good. I don't know how old he is now.
I
He
love
looked really good.
I love when they make a good tribute like that to
Mhm.
somebody that was deserving. That's neat.
Yeah.
I mean, the Cy Young, that just I know that name doesn't mean anything to us because he's
Yeah.
been dead before any of us were even born.
Yeah. I
But
think
it makes
he might have been dead before our grandparents were born.
Yeah, but the fact that it carries that kind of weight, it
Mhm.
gives it, that real,
Yeah.
heft to it. That's cool.
Yeah, like the Roberto Clemente Award is for the best humanitarian
Yeah.
in the league every year. People doing good deeds. I think that's awesome as well.
Dude, nice.
So I just wanted to throw that out there as well. Now UFC, our main discussion of the night.
Number 200 this last weekend.
200. Going into it, I was really excited about it. And of course, we had some disappointment with John Jones. Thanks, buddy. We appreciate that.
Dude, I'm telling you, they're talking, and you never know how to take this because it could be hype,
Mhm.
but they're talking he might not ever come back.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard Nevada was really going to crack down on him.
They said that it was going to be a 2-year suspension,
Mhm.
but the UFC was tired of it
Mm-hmm.
because they've given him so many chances. Now, that could be just lip service because they need to sound like they're going to really, hammer him.
Yep.
But he's a money-making machine.
Well, here's my thing. Is that old management saying that or $4.2 billion management saying that?
The thing that's crazy is that it's Dana White who's actually
Mhm.
both
Mm-hmm. Yep.
because they're going to keep him on.
Yeah. I mean, that you got to keep him on there if you can.
You know what sucks about they released what it was that he had gotten caught for. Do you know what it was?
I have not even heard. Oh wait, I think I did hear. Go ahead.
Estrogen.
Yeah.
Which would be, something that would be
Take it to cover up.
yes,
Mhm.
on the end of a cycle.
Mm-hmm.
which is really bad because now, oh man,
I mean, he's one of those guys that did he ever need such a thing? Which baffles me.
a lot of those guys, man, they're just so worried. They're like, dude, everyone else is on. If I don't do this, I can't compete.
Yeah.
I'll tell you who's a good example. Somebody who fought in 200 this last week, and there's absolutely zero chance you're going to convince me of anything different. Johnny Hendricks.
Yep.
Johnny Hendricks without steroids has had the same result in the last 2 fights.
Yep.
And
that was a fight I was looking forward to with him too.
Sad.
I was like, is he gonna, kind of turn it around? And no.
Oh, I 100%. I told Will and Brian, I was like, there's no way.
Yeah.
I said he cannot take and do what he's doing anymore because USADA is not having it.
Yep.
The guys that are testing.
Yeah,
But John Jones, you know how much money he probably lost?
It was about what, 2.5?
No, not with everything that would have been included.
Uh-huh.
That might have been his reported purse.
Mm-hmm.
14 million
in that one.
Yep. Yep.
Hey.
Because he would have had pay-per-view shares.
Yeah.
He would have had all kinds of things, on the back end.
Brock
Dude,
appreciates that.
all Merry Christmas to Brock.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
But,
So yeah,
man.
no John Jones. How do you want to start the discussion?
You want to just kind of run through the matches?
Yeah, go through
I
them.
mean, because I just have written down the main card because I know you said you watched some of the other ones as well.
yeah, the prelims.
Mm-hmm.
All right, check this out. Here's something worth discussing. There's actually 3 different viewing opportunities for all of the big events now.
Yep.
You have the UFC Fight Pass, the prelims on FS1, and then the pay-per-view.
Yeah, so I call it the prelims, but I didn't get the prelims.
Right. And what's crazy is that some of the Fight Pass fights are worthy of main card attention because they're trying to force us to pay more than what we're already paying, $50 for
$50
for an event.
for pay-per-view, yeah.
And now, what is it, $10 a month?
I think something like that.
It's
I know
something-
that's what it is. I know $9.99 for the WWE.
Sure. Well, I think that's exactly, they're copying the exact model of the WWE. Now, yeah, you might think, oh, dude, man, $100 isn't that much. $120 if it's $10 a month, whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm paying $50 already per event. And if there's an event every month that I want to buy, dude, that's crazy.
No one's
money.
buying 201.
Oh, dude, I don't think so.
We'll get to that in a little bit,
Yeah.
though. But
So you didn't watch any of the? I didn't watch Fight Pass.
yeah, the Fight Pass I did not see. But there is one thing I want to say about UFC's idea about Fight Pass.
What do you think?
Where it's, I think, better for them than what WWE is doing. Because WWE, they have a couple of fights, but then their pay-per-view is on the network. So you're paying $9.99 and you're getting a full, the full pay-per-view every month.
If they did that for the UFC,
Yeah.
I wouldn't even think I'd buy it yesterday.
Yeah. But I mean, it's why they are smarter
Yeah.
than Vince McMahon in this respect.
Yeah.
Because they're like, we will get them twice on many of these deals.
Yeah. Well, I've heard that Vince McMahon and the WWE is struggling financially right now, and the UFC, of course, they bought it for $2 million and sold it for $4.2 billion.
Okay, I heard it was in 2000. I thought it was a couple years before that they bought it.
You know what? I've gone back and forth. I think it was around 2000 that Zuffa actually became, the Fertitta brothers.
Yeah.
But I remember it being, that kind of time frame. Everything was changing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard not to think that it was already.
Because I was just thinking it was like that about 97, 98. So it was in my mind.
Yeah.
Right around that time.
It wouldn't have surprised me at all.
ESPN said 2000, so I was like, they're going to know better than me.
Now, maybe not.
Yeah.
ESPN, sometimes I think they're off the mark.
They are sometimes, definitely.
With the UFC especially. All right, hey, real quick, I'll tell you this. One of the prelims that I saw that was worth mentioning, Sage Northcutt, his fight.
Was he 19 or 20?
Yeah. And
That hair.
Oh, dude, he looks like a character from Dragon Ball Z.
He does. But
And he's got that stupid smile on his face all the time. Makes me want to smack
I wasn't
him.
going to say that, but he does.
He
really does.
It's an annoying grin. Like he knows he's on camera all the time, and
Yeah.
he's just like, "Hi, I want everyone to like me," and I'm like, "Just be a person, then."
Yeah. You get him, Opie.
He fought this guy, and it's funny because he looked amazing.
Yeah.
He looks like he's chiseled and drawn as a superhero. And the other guy looked like he worked in the mailroom.
Yep.
That fight was awesome.
That was a really good fight.
That was a really good fight. I'll tell you, props go to the other guy for having a higher level of technique, but props go to Sage for being tough and having the athleticism to do what I call a CrossFit escape here and there. Jiu-jitsu, you can have a technical escape system where it's not based on muscle, it's leverage. But if you have a CrossFit escape, it's just because you're strong and explode. Well, Sage had a couple of those that I was like, nah, he ain't going to be able to explode out of that.
I mean, that one, they had a Kimura on him.
Yeah, the Kimura and the full straight armbar.
Yeah,
he did a sit-up on the guy from the wrong end. That was fun, though. I liked watching that one.
That was. Another one on the prelims that I did like was Kat Zagano versus Juliana Pena.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Because that was one of those I was like, this is the reason I'm watching the prelims. So I think this is gonna be a really good fight.
That was.
And I'll be honest, I thought Zagano was going to win this one, and no.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, I mean Juliana, she was wow.
Dude,
that was impressive.
Amazing.
That was
amazing.
really impressive.
You know what's crazy is to see what both of those girls look like done up,
and
then to see him in there just like, I mean, Kat looked like Quasimodo after the end of the fight. I was like, why would you want to look like that?
Yeah.
You're beautiful. You know, go out and just be pretty.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds condescending to women. I'm not trying to say I don't appreciate their skills.
Too late.
Too late?
No, I mean, honestly, it's such an amazing fight. And to me, I love to see the progression that these women have gone through.
Oh, they've done
I mean,
awesome.
since Strikeforce to now, it's a different ball game, and it's awesome.
Here's what I like. I love well-rounded fights.
Yep.
I don't care if they're guys or girls. A lot of times the girls, they feel like they have to bring it even harder, and they deliver more often. But the same thing the biggest problem I have a problem with, especially with the lighter weights, is when they turn into just a kickboxing match where it's 5 rounds of just pitter-pat and nobody has the power to knock each other out.
Yep.
I do what I call a Japanese digest version of the fight. What I do is I do not look at the internet during the fights, and I don't answer text or calls. And I pause my DVR, so I'm 15 minutes behind. And when I get to that kind of stuff, the Japanese digest is what they used to call it in Pride, where they edit out the boring 20-minute part of the fight where they just were laying in guard. And I'll put it on like speed 1 and just watch it like, and nobody's hurting each other, and it's just pointless. But Kat and them, there's a little bit of that going on.
I mean, I thought it was a good fight.
Yeah.
So I thought that was good. Main card, Cain Velasquez versus Travis Brown.
I love that fight.
I was way wrong on this one.
Who did you call Travis?
I did.
Why?
Because I don't know. It was like I just thought Cain. Be honest, I forgot his last fight, where he was he's like a new fighter now. He is not the same guy he was.
Did you see that spin kick he threw?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
my God.
They said he's been working really, really hard on that stand-up, and it is showing.
Dude, he's
It's
always
amazing.
been one of the best heavyweights. I mean, he's a former UFC champion, of course. But he's, to me, been one of the most well-rounded guys. He had a stand-up and a ground game that was both amazing. But that spin kick he threw, I didn't expect that.
I mean, he threw a couple of them, and I was like, what is he doing?
Dude.
I mean, and
amazing.
It wasn't a sad looking one. This thing, it was sharp. It had speed and power on it. I was like, dang.
He's the man, dude.
Like, that was awesome.
I'll never doubt him after he took it to Junior Dos Anjos, Brock Lesnar. I mean, those kind of performances, dude. And Travis is good.
Yeah.
I called that one.
I've said this. I only got one right on the card.
Oh. I'll tell you this. You know how big Travis Brown is, right? Tall.
Yeah,
He's like 6'7". When they stood next to each other, it didn't look like that big a difference.
Exactly right.
I expected it to be like, you know, an adult fighting like a junior higher or a young high school kid.
Mean, that's one of the things I was thinking. Like, there's going to be a lot of reach here.
No.
There wasn't.
No.
And
it didn't look like it.
Yeah, and I was just impressed with the way Velasquez just took it right in there, got a knockout, went on about his day.
Was that like right at the buzzer of the first round, right? It was like right, with 2 seconds left.
2 seconds left, yes.
Yeah.
Had him it was in ground and pound, and yeah.
I'll tell you, I feel for Travis because if you know that there's 2 seconds left and there's any possibility of even just roll over, the act of rolling over takes 2 seconds.
Yeah. Well, for people like me, shaped like a turtle, yes, it does.
Yeah, if you're on your back. Well, he's shaped like a ruler, so.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Next, this right here, to me, could have been a main event anywhere. Jose Aldo against Frankie Edgar,
Awesome.
and I picked Edgar, and I'll tell you why. Aldo's coming off that loss
Yeah.
against McGregor, and I was like,
You think it was still in his head?
that's what I was thinking. I was thinking this, and last time they fought, it went to a 5-round decision,
Yeah.
and I thought, you know what, maybe Edgar's time to get over that hump.
Yeah.
And he was just dominated the whole fight.
I felt
It
bad
was
for Edgar.
beautiful. I mean-
I like him.
Yeah, I mean, what Aldo did was just a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Aldo looked so much bigger and stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see his shoulders?
Yeah.
Holy cow. Looked like boulder shoulders.
Yeah, so it was
And Frankie-
impressive.
It's funny because he's a natural lightweight. And he
Mhm.
did have to cut to get to, 45. But I mean, what, 10 pounds? That's
Yeah.
not cutting weight. That's
Yeah.
like, don't have breakfast this morning.
That's right.
But he looked tiny.
Mm-hmm.
And Jose, man, he looked sharper than I've ever seen him.
Yeah. I tell you something I was telling Josh. You watch the heavyweights, then you watch these guys come in there. It's like the ring just grew.
Yeah.
And I felt like, you're talking about watching it and fast forward. That's what I felt like I was watching this.
Oh,
like
yeah.
those first two to three rounds, like these guys are flying all over the place.
Dude, I think that it looked like they took a half court in basketball
Yeah.
and put a cage around it.
Yeah.
And the other guys, it looks like their living room has a cage around it.
I was like, Aldo's like, wow, that was so impressive. So
Aldo
impressive.
is back. Hey, did you see that picture of Conor McGregor doing a mean mugging stare from outside the ring?
Yeah.
That was good, right?
Yeah, he was the only one standing up, just like.
Yes, I'm here to take over. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
psycho, sit down.
Now about this fight, this is for an interim title.
Which is the most meaningless
Thi-
idea in
To
sports.
me, the only time it has a meaning when the guy is injured and he's like Dominic Cruz was out for like 2 years. But when
I
you have a
agree with
guy-
that. Yeah,
when
I
you have
agree.
a guy that's actually still fighting,
But he's too busy making money doing
Yeah.
these circus acts.
and to me, I'm like, dude, you strip the belt.
I would too. I'd say you have to defend or you have to take and
Yeah. WWE makes him defend it.
dude, right? Well, they should.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I was like, you got these guys sitting here waiting for a title shot, and now you give them this almost paper title.
Dude. Now, hey, before we move on
Mm-hmm.
to the next one, there was one because they had a huge fight weekend. They had the Ultimate Fighter finale, whatever.
I totally missed that. I heard about it.
Me
There's
too.
actually this is Wednesday night. There's actually fights going on tonight.
Oh, really? Who's
I
fighting tonight?
have
Anybody?
No idea.
Well, I'll tell you this: Dos Anjos versus Eddie Alvarez. I missed.
I did not know that was out. Wow.
Do you know who won?
No.
I ain't gonna tell you.
Well, I don't know when I'm going to be able to see it, so.
Yeah, man, get online.
No, all right.
MMAshare.com.
No. Sponsored by.
Sponsored by. It's a great place to see it if if you missed the original.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta watch it. Amazing fight.
I'm going to check that out.
Yeah.
That just sounds, those two, that's.
Yeah, I'm not a
that's good.
spoiler, man. You gotta go watch it. Who was next after Jose?
Here's the one fight I got right.
Jose.
Cormier versus Silva.
Oh, jeez.
I got this one right.
Okay,
Man,
let's talk
that's,
about
That's
this.
really all I can say about this fight.
All right.
I thought it was going to be a first-round knockout, to tell you the honest truth.
By who?
Cormier.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't gonna be a knockout.
I mean, when you saw
TKO maybe.
when you saw Silva coming in,
Oh,
I mean, he clearly has not trained and was not ready for this fight.
I honestly, I have to give him props.
Yeah.
For not just walking in untrained
Mhm.
and like I don't care, I'm a fighter.
Yep.
To take your shirt off looking like that, that
why I
man's
keep-
got balls.
That's why I keep my shirt on.
That's courage, man.
But I mean, I still call him the greatest. I know Josh right here would call him a bum,
No, he's not a bum.
but
He's definitely one of the greatest. I don't call him the greatest.
Mm-hmm.
No.
There's a topic right there for one day.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was just.
You could argue John Jones is the greatest.
Well, I can't if he can't stay straight.
Definitely see where you're coming from, but if I look at their performances all on video and based it like I can't prove it one way or the other, who is the best? because you can't prove that you're favorites.
Yeah.
GSP makes a lot of noise about being, clean, and he wants them all tested.
Mhm.
You don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree with that. I'm glad they're getting the Olympic doping involved with this,
Yeah,
so
man.
you know who's clean and who's not.
Yeah, they're
I
for
mean, there
real.
were some guys just ripping Lesnar. He's not clean. He's not clean. Dude, he's been tested. How many times did they say? Like 6 times in the past week?
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't keep track of that. I knew it's always an issue with him. Look at him.
Yeah. I mean,
But I didn't
he's
follow it this time.
just
See
a
what they were
monster
saying.
of a human being. But let's just go. You want to just go straight to that fight?
Well, hold on. What were we just talking about?
Cormier Silva.
No, let's spend some time here because I don't want to go back to this one.
Yeah.
All right. Anderson looked awful.
Yeah.
Physically.
Mm-hmm.
His movement wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He even didn't look, bad, as far as getting winded. But there wasn't a lot of movement because Daniel Cormier fought a smart fight. Because a lot of guys go, man, I don't want to see that. It's like, if your world could change with millions of dollars doing one thing or taking a chance and getting 100,000, and I'm not saying that's the discrepancy, but that's how big the difference between the paychecks can be.
Yeah.
I'm playing a smart game.
Yeah. I mean, I've always said this. Your job is to win the fight.
Yes.
That is your job. Your job isn't to, let me see if I can impress people by getting myself knocked out.
Yep. I agree. And people say, yeah, but if somebody is a top-notch wrestler and can hold you down on top, they have to give it to you.
Yeah.
You can say that that's boring, but if this game does survive, that's one of the things that will have to be answered and evolved as a fighter. They're going to have to find ways to take in, all right, I remember in jiu-jitsu where they were like, look, how do we take these big monster American wrestlers, this is what the Brazilian community was saying, that are holding us down and ground and pounding us, because jiu-jitsu was now having somebody nullify it, you know, and they've got some great answers for it. But every person has to earn that knowledge. It's not like, oh, now the art's there. Anybody who does it is good. You got to earn it.
Yeah.
But he laid on him the whole time. Silva did good defending the punches.
Yeah.
But a terrible, boring fight to watch.
The only thing that I thought that I would say was good was the third round.
Yeah.
For a little bit. I mean, Silva stood up with him, and he threw a kick in there, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, the game just changed.
Yeah, I thought that too.
I was like, we might have Silva coming through with the win.
He did not, but it did look like it. And I think the other thing that made me kind of like a little wary of Cormier, how he would have turned, I think honestly he would have gotten killed.
Yeah.
By John. He looked exhausted for a 3-round fight against the guy. All he did was stay on top.
Yeah. I mean, you can say what you want. I mean, he said that it's a different guy he's training for. It's a different set of skills that he's training for. I'm like, dude.
Silva's as close to being a John Jones duplicate as you're going to get,
though. He's got that stand-up. He's got that clinch.
Yeah.
He's got those elbows and knees, just like John Jones. The only difference is he's a little bit smaller.
And the only other thing I think that I would give him some props on, I don't care if Anderson Silva is old, out of shape. He's dangerous.
Yeah.
Every single second that he says, I'm going to knock you out, he could.
Yeah.
The adrenaline dump alone would probably tax half of whatever conditioning I'd develop. You're going to get scared against a guy like that as a natural. I'm in here with Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
This is, this century's Bruce Lee.
Yeah. And when you saw after the fight, you saw the respect. Cormier has a ton of respect for Silva. So I wonder if some of that was, I'm not going to say I don't want to hurt, one of my heroes, but
I've seen that in a couple of fights where you think that. Yeah. Not that it would ever happen because we're both old. But like if I was a young guy coming up and I had a chance to go in the UFC and do this, and I faced like an older GSP or Randy Couture, even if I could smash him, I wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. This is what motivated me. This guy inspired me.
That would have been awesome.
I could have seen that with Cormier's, hey,
like I said,
thanks for coming in and making sure I get a paycheck.
I mean, gosh, I wonder how much Cormier lost in this fight. How much money?
Millions.
Gosh, because I know they said he was going to be getting like a base of around what 2.5.
Yeah, base, but
Golly, that's a lot of money
he would have
for one night.
cleared maybe around either 14 or something like that as well.
Wow, that's a good day at the office.
Well, that was life-changing money he didn't get. I don't
Mhm.
know exactly what his take-home was. I would say it was probably around 6, 5, something like that.
It's still a good day at the office, but
Yeah.
half of what it could have been.
You ever hear like what Garth Brooks said? He goes, "I have grandkid money," and they say, "What's that?" And he goes, "I got more money than my grandkids can ever spend."
Mhm. Yep.
So
See next, the Beast incarnate, Brock
dude,
Lesnar.
can you see me now?
And I, again, was wrong on this one. Mark Hunt. I thought Mark Hunt.
I thought Mark would win.
He's got these dynamite in his hands. And after the fight, because watching the fight, I was like, he didn't really hit him too much. After the fight, you saw Brock's face. He caught him some.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, his one eye was about swollen shut.
Dude, but he played, again, just like
Yeah.
Cormier,
Hmm.
a brilliant game.
But I think he played it better than Cormier.
Oh, without a doubt.
I mean, he's throwing punches the whole time. And to me, the fight changed the most. I don't know if you'll agree with me with this. It's right toward the end of the first round when Brock took him down that second time. And he looked like he about put him through the mat.
Gosh, you know what? I don't remember the moment.
It was right. They were right up against the cage. Brock had him and took his legs out. And he went
Oh,
straight
yes,
down,
yes.
And you saw Hunt's face.
Yeah,
when
I saw
he
it.
hit the mat.
And I did see his face.
Yeah, and you could tell he's like, "Oh, that sucks."
I swear I felt that exact thing. I know exactly what you're talking about now. When it's like he pulled the rug out from under him.
Yeah, and then Brock mounted and the round ended.
Dude, it looked like that might have come close to giving him like a flash knockout.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a real quick, like, oh god, oh wait, what happened?
Mhm.
For a second. I've had that experience before. I got hit, and it literally the lights went out completely. I mean, like, boom. And then within a split second, they were back on. I wasn't hurt a
Yeah.
bit. But I remember thinking, I was out, dude.
Yeah.
I was
I've
out.
seen that in fights before. Somebody gets hit, they're like out. They get hit again and they wake up
Oh yeah, I've seen
and
that
they
too.
keep right on going.
But I do think that was the turning point of the fight.
Mhm. And the second round was quite boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he figured him out.
Mhm.
Same thing. Do it again.
Then the third round, take him down, more
Hold-
ground and pound.
Hold him
I
down.
mean, the second round was just stand up the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they were both really winded in that second round.
We said the same thing. Me and Brian were talking about it, and they both look like, I'll let you breathe if you let me breathe.
Yeah.
Not that they did, but they were both tired.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, because that second round, I was like, Brock, you don't want to stand there. You don't
Yeah.
want to do it.
Brock looked better in this fight than
Mhm.
any appearance for the UFC he's ever had.
Did you hear the post-fight conference, what he said?
A little bit. What are you referring to?
Well, he said,
First one he'd ever trained for?
well, yes, first one he was able to train for because of the
Yeah.
diverticulitis.
Diverticulitis.
And he said, who goes in there, has a foot of colon removed, and then fights 2 months later? No one does that. Well, he used a little bit more profanity to me, but
yeah.
and he was like, this is the first fight I was really healthy for and really able to train for. I was like, that's awesome.
I will say this, and I don't like to armchair quarterback people like Brock Lesnar. I mean, Brock Lesnar has some of the best trainers that you can get.
Yeah.
Marty, his wrestling coach, is one of the top guys ever, like wrestled with the Schultz brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Greg Nelson,
Yep.
fantastic.
Greg Nelson, it's a legend.
He's a legend.
In the training. He's just
And for years, Eric Paulson, who's
Mhm.
also
Yeah, another legend. In training.
both of those guys are
Yeah.
encyclopedias.
And if you guys don't know who these people are, look them up.
Look them up.
These people are amazing.
I would count myself lucky to attend a seminar that
Mhm.
these guys did. They're like some of my heroes. And he's been exposed to the answers of basic submissions, basic setups to increase your punching potential.
Mhm.
I just think the man is like, whatever, I'm good at holding and hitting. And
Well, he has had a submission. And you can see at one point he was going for a choke.
Well, he's going for a gift wrap,
Yeah.
and he didn't really go for it. But
He was trying to get his head under there, go for an
Yeah.
arm triangle, but couldn't
Yeah,
get there.
yeah,
But
yeah.
man, I do not want to ever get hit by those fists of his.
and like I
Holy
said,
cow.
I don't want to second guess him because you're right.
Mhm.
That guy's attributes, he can win, with what he's got now and be the champion again.
Now, do you think it's true that he said he only started training 2 weeks ago for this fight?
I do not think that's true.
I don't think it is either. I think they just announced that 2 weeks ago.
Well, I could say this. He might have been training specifically for this fight 2 weeks ago because that's when the deal was made.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you there was a thought process when he started getting hungry at least a few months ago.
I mean, he was training for Randy Orton at SummerSlam. Maybe that's what he was doing.
Right.
'Cause that's his next big pay-per-view event.
Didn't you think he looked better, though, than he'd ever looked in his UFC fights?
And I don't understand this. You see him beside Mark Hunt, and they're both 265.
Yeah.
Like, what in the world kind of scales are these?
That's a different 265, brother.
And you don't see people built like that as that athletic.
No, dude, the way he moves, that's like perfection.
It's an amazing thing watching him. But
one of my favorite athletic things from him ever was that first fight with Heath Herring when they said go and he bull rushed him and literally knocked Heath back to a back roll. Awesome. But the future a little uncertain for Brock. Nobody knows if he's going to take and continue on. I don't think he knows yet.
I don't think he knows, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be back in the octagon.
I think he will, but he's not going to be like one of these guys, hey, in another 2 months, get me another fight.
Yeah.
He'll wait maybe around Christmas, New Year, something like that. You know what I'm saying? To take and build up that momentum.
You know what? Maybe New York.
Could be. Yeah, something like that would be able to bring him back.
I mean, I think he's one of those guys now that he's set with money.
He is now.
And they said the only thing he does with his money is just buys more land to add to his basically compound.
Dude,
in Canada.
What would be better than that?
I mean, they said he's got a fence, so if you went up to, you couldn't find his house.
You know, dude, I dig that he was trying to be honorable in that he was representing Canada because he lives there. And Canada, I you know, nothing but love for the Canadian people. But to give up your American, because he's American, right?
He's American, Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota. It's not like he was Canadian and like came to school here.
Yeah.
But for him to do that, I'm like, what are you doing?
I always like when people say, you know, no disrespect, but.
Well, to the Canadians bring a lot of that on themselves.
Hey, they have some of the best comics out there.
And bacon.
Bacon.
Yes.
That's some good stuff.
Oh, fatback, eh?
Yeah.
You hoser?
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah. All right.
And a pack of smokes.
Now to the Molson.
And Molson, eh?
Molson beer there, eh? But,
are you a McKenzie Brother fan? Strange Brews?
I loved watching Strange Brews. I love it. They're action figures out with them, like with the hats
I think
on.
I have one of them somewhere.
It is awesome. I want to get that set.
I
sometime.
remember when that came out on Saturday Night
Yeah.
Live, and I was like, I'm from Vermont, man. These guys, I know these guys.
Hey, man, take off, man.
Shut your hoser, eh?
Take off. I remember they had a song, Take Off.
Oh, I love it. And it's not Christmas until I hear Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You, and the 12 Days of Christmas by the McKenzie Brothers.
Yeah, guys, look this stuff up on YouTube. The McKenzie Brothers and stuff. It is awesome.
On the first. I'm sorry.
I have a gut feeling people will look at this and go, it's really not as funny as y'all making it out to be.
It was when we were 12.
It really was. It was.
At 12, that was the most cutting edge. That was before Eddie Murphy, so.
Yeah. Ooh.
That was before Eddie.
Some delirious and stuff.
Whole nother podcast.
Exactly. The women's title. Now, you picked this one, right?
No. I don't think anybody did. I hated that this was the main event, even though it should have been.
Yeah.
Because of the title.
Yeah. Miesha Tate versus Amanda Nunes. Because I kept calling her Nunes, but apparently it's Nunes.
Nunez.
I know her name now, and I said going into this, I was like, she should be fourth. She should not have a shot yet. I have been shut up. Takes a lot for that too.
Dismantled her.
I mean, I was like,
Miesha.
Holy cow. I showed my sister-in-law a picture of Miesha before and after the fights. She was like, why did that woman get in there?
Yeah, Quasimodo number 2.
I was like, oh my gosh.
But the thing is, she even looked like she wanted out.
Mm-hmm.
After she started getting smashed, she was like...
I think she got hit that first time. Amanda said she's like, I think I broke her nose the first punch.
Yeah, it could have been. Man. Did you watch post-fight?
I did not.
Normally, I try to stay up and watch it, but I was just...
I saw a video of Miesha talking, She's sitting there with a microphone, and she's holding her nose so it won't bleed with a towel, and she's kind of talking out the side.
That's embarrassing.
And she's like, yeah, I was telling everybody how good she is, and I hope I can get a rematch.
I wouldn't give that lady a rematch for nothing.
Yeah.
You don't give Holly Holm a rematch, but
That's
you
what
want
someone
one?
else said too. I totally agree.
You don't get one.
Exactly.
Because honestly, that was Holly Holm's fight.
Yeah.
To me, that would have been a main event.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have been, yeah, okay, I'm in. That's got some history, some drama, some bad blood. Yeah.
I don't think Misha's going to be at any NASCAR events, telling the gentlemen and ladies to start their engines.
Start their engines.
She's represented by Kevin Harvick Racing or something.
Oh, is she really?
Yeah, that's her agent or something. I don't know exactly, but she's been at a lot of NASCAR events, and she might not do that for a little while.
Yeah, she got to heal up a little bit.
Yeah,
I did hear that night she was out partying at a local strip club because she told everybody that win or lose, she would show up to her after party.
I heard she's going to be suspended for about 6 months. Injury suspension.
Oh.
Injury, not drug suspension. Injury suspension. Dude.
Estrogen.
Yeah. Don't you hate women? They have estrogen.
Dude,
but
right.
Ron.
They're gonna test her for testosterone because it's like, why do you have testicles?
Cyborg was not there.
Cyborg was not there.
I apologize to the world for saying such a thing.
Why do you say this for me?
So all in all, I thought it was a good event. I think you said you didn't think it was quite as good.
No, it's hard because I was really excited. I try to keep myself from getting really hyped up about these things because it's hard for anything to live up to hype.
Yeah.
I try to not get hyped up about the comic book movies or a book release or a comic because it's hard to live up to that.
Yep.
But I was hyped for this, and I was just like, yeah, whatever. Daniel and Anderson, and that was horrible.
I think the toughest thing with people like us, we've been watching fights for 15 years or more. Actually, more.
Yeah, more.
And it's like, after a while, it's like, I think I've seen this one before.
Yeah, it's been over 20 years. I started watching the UFC. When it came out, I watched it live.
So I remember.
No, I didn't. I take that back. I had a video that one of my buddies had made of the week before. It was like a week later.
So we had a video store, VHS.
Yep.
And I would say they're probably around UFC 5 or 6. Okay. And it's when we start watching. We went out and rented 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
So that's about when we started watching it.
But I'd been watching shoot wrestling for a year ahead of that. So I started really paying attention to fights. So you knew
Shamrock way before I knew Shamrock.
Well, no, because Shamrock was in a different organization. He was in shoot fighting, Pancrase.
Yeah.
And shoot wrestling was with a different promoter, Satori Sayama, Super Tiger guy. And, dude, if you want to see an incredibly awesome, funny video, go to YouTube and put in Satori Sayama. It's a Japanese guy. He's a trainer back in the 90s. He's this fat pro wrestling Japanese dude who beats the students as they're training to make them tougher. It's hilarious. We watched this thing, and it was just like, why would you stay while this pudgy punk and he started hitting them with like bamboo sticks and stuff.
Well,
awesome video.
It's kind of their way, I believe. Because did you know when Hulk Hogan? I know, here goes WWE reference. Hulk Hogan, when he first started training, he went to Japan, and to prove how tough he was, they broke his leg on purpose to see if he would come back.
Wow.
I'm like, what?
Wow.
And this is when he was Terry Bollea. They didn't know who this guy was.
Dude.
Some guy trying to come in here and take people's spots.
You know what's crazy? You remember like the wrestling magazines that were in like Kroger's when you were a kid?
Yep.
Because back then,
we used to have some of those.
I never watched pay-per-view back then. Did you?
Well, pay-per-view first started around 83, 84, something like that.
Did you ever watch them though back that late?
Well, when we first started watching, it was closed circuit.
Closed circuit.
We had to go to the Roanoke Civic Center to watch it.
Oh.
It wasn't even, I was in Bedford, so it's about a half an hour drive.
Did you ever do those?
We were going to, but we decided to go bowling instead. But we were going to.
Well, I remember Gordon Solly used to always say, this Sunday at the Omni on closed circuit TV. I was like, I don't even know what that means. How come I can't watch this stuff? And but I remember back in those days picking up a magazine while I waited for my mom to shop so I could see who won the matches, whatever. Yeah. And they had like all of these different, superstars in their little sections, like
in their territories.
Florida, this is their champion. California, and it wasn't all under the WWE.
Right.
And I saw Terry Hulk Hogan, and it was like a little wallet-sized photo of him, and I was like, why isn't that guy the champion of? Because they had him doing like a Thunder Lips type of pose before Thunder Lips. Why doesn't he beat everybody? He is a giant of muscle. Look at that.
Yeah.
A few years later, I mean, every kid knows Hulkamania.
You need to start picking up my lottery tickets, man. I could have won $500 million and I didn't.
Dude, I need a flux capacitor.
There you go.
And a sports almanac.
You want to talk about like the next couple UFC, just like real quick?
We can touch on them. I'm not real up. I don't want to talk about 202 though.
I'm just gonna tell you a couple of fights. 201. The reason I think no one knows much about this, there's two fights that I actually want to discuss. That's Robbie Lawler against Tyron Woodley. That's the headline.
I'll be honest. I want to see that.
That's the one I like. That's the one fight on the whole thing. And then I looked at the prelims.
Tyrone could win that.
I think that's gonna be a heck of a fight, and it's gonna be a brawl.
He gets tired in the second and third rounds.
So much muscle.
So much muscle. But if you can make it through that first round, but if you can't, he'll kill you.
Yeah, he's a bad dude.
He is a bad dude, man.
The only reason I think Lawler will win is he can get beaten down and keep on going.
Yeah, but you don't know, man. He's getting older. You don't know if he's gotten chinny yet.
But the strawweight women's fight, Rose Namajunas.
Yep.
Namajunas. Against one of my new favorites, Carolina Kowalkiewicz. She's a cute little thing, and she is a spitfire. She's got power with her punches, good stand-up. She is someone I really like watching fight.
Dude, I
have seen her fight.
Have I?
Yeah, but I'm really bad at her name. I'll show you her name. Maybe it's right there. She's from Poland.
Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, it's kind of right around this area.
Carolina
Kowalkiewicz. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I know her brother.
Yes.
Wojciechowicz.
Really?
I know. Good friend of mine.
I tell you, she's one of those people you see, you'll know her, and I'm telling you, she is tough as nails.
Dude, I'll watch that.
I know you saw her in her last fight, and you're like, yeah, she's really good. But anyway.
I do. I remember you talking about her. She's cute as heck.
Yeah.
I do know who you're talking about. Yeah.
But I'm really looking forward to that fight.
Brunette chick.
The rest of the card, I don't really care. I don't even know who else is in the rest of the card.
It's sad because the idea to take and put on like a show every week.
Yeah.
Like tonight, there's one on right now. I couldn't tell you the first person who's fighting.
No idea. And I know you were telling me that there were stuff last week other than 200. And I was like, because my brother mentioned, I was like, I have no idea who even fought. Now at least I know who fought, and I can look it up.
Yeah, definitely go back and watch Dos Anjos and what's his name, Eddie Alvarez. That is you got to see that fight.
See,
I might go watch that again tonight.
There you go. 202. We had, to me, 3 really good fights. Damian Maia against Carlos Condit.
Good fight. Who you take?
I'm gonna take Condit.
Condit can win if it stays standing up, but if
born killer.
If he gets his anaconda hooks on him, Maia will.
Maia, dude,
he's awesome
on the ground. Like great day, he's good.
I met that guy. He is the nicest person. He's the most unassuming. I'm not famous. I'm nobody.
That's how I am around my fans.
Yeah, it's tough to do that.
That's so not true.
That's why
you're not like that at all.
You are the opposite of that.
The exact opposite. Anthony Rumble Johnson against Glover Teixeira.
I love Anthony's personality. I loved him on The Ultimate Fighter.
Yep.
And just like, dude, this guy, he's the most real guy they've ever had on this show. And I'd like to hang out with him.
Yep.
That's cool.
I think that's going to be a good fight, too.
And he is a beast right now. He is on fire when he stopped trying to cut down to, like, weight he shouldn't be at. I was like, Anthony, we're not amputating your legs.
He's going in there. He's all cramping up.
Take off 3 toes. I don't need 3 toes. Take them off. My ears. Take off my ears. No. Don't do that. Fight at your weight, dude.
Then there's that one other fight.
What's that other one? Little one.
Diaz against McGregor.
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 I'm watching this. I've heard some people get all like, I don't care about that fight. That's a clown show. I was like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Because I'm all about that. Yeah. I'm not surprised that you don't like this. Yeah, that's my censor. But I want to see the rematch because I think it's going to be the same way. And I've got to wonder, how does Conor come back from this?
Yeah. That's what I just don't see it going any other way. And Diaz has a training camp under him. How can this go any other way? I don't get it.
No way. It doesn't go any other way. That's a bad fight for you, Conor. You should have walked away.
Yeah.
Now, if he wins, dude, let me tell you something.
We'll never hear the end of that.
Well, dude, it doesn't even. I don't even care about that because at that point, you deserve it. Don't let us hear the end of it because I doubted you. If he beats Nate Diaz, like especially with a knockout, the rubber match is one for the all-time. It'll be up there with, Shamrock Gracie, Shamrock Tito.
Shamrock Tito, yeah, that wasn't a rubber match. It's just a third beatdown.
A third beatdown.
Yeah. Like, I get to beat you up again? Okay.
Chuck and Randy. I mean, they will be connected.
Tito and Chuck.
Tito was just good at selling.
That was just another beatdown for Tito.
Yeah. But I don't see it going any other way.
Yeah.
No.
No. One thing, while we're talking about, well, kind of, sort of, about fight camps, me and Josh, we were joking about like Anderson, how he didn't have a fight camp, and I was joking. I was like, you know what they should do? As soon as they sign a contract, that's it. No fighting, no nothing, no training, no nothing. You sit at home, watch TV. You have a guy from the UFC sitting there staring at you the whole time. No training for you. So that way, they couldn't get hurt, and they would at least be at the fight and train and fight.
A lot of people believe that.
I mean,
Cain Velasquez has actually talked about that because his career has been, totally beset with injuries. And one of the things he said is, I've actually learned how to train safer.
Yeah.
Him and DC both sat down and talked, and they said, listen, we've got to do something. Did you see that little thing? Yeah,
because they train together.
Yeah, they train together.
Yeah.
He says, maybe we shouldn't try to kill each other every time. Duh.
He said, DC said after, he's like, yeah, I usually go home crying because I was getting beat up.
Dude, I'm telling you, I saw that. I saw that same.
Velasquez is so much bigger. It's like, yeah, I'll go home crying.
He's a beast, man. My personal opinion when I'm training fighters is that you've got, the guys that are so motivated that overtraining becomes a real factor, and it's a coach's job to recognize that from the outside and be able to take and communicate in a way that this guy understands that, hey, we got to pull the reins.
Yep.
And people always think more is better, and that's not true because most people, I don't believe, are overtrained. Most people, I believe, are under recuperated.
Yeah.
They're not getting enough rest.
Oh, yeah, that's the worst. The biggest thing I totally agree with is like they fight, they train all the time for that fight. As soon as the fight's over, let's get ready for the next fight.
Yeah.
Like, no, you need a break.
Yeah. The only time I'm big on going right out again is if they finish that fight in the first round, they're totally healthy, and they're still in a high level of conditioning.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, if they're safe, man, they're primed. Go now.
Amanda's ready for another fight.
Yeah, Amanda's ready for perfect.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I always try to communicate it to them like this. Look, it's not because I'm trying to be easy on you. It's because you're a racehorse. And as your racehorse trainer, I got to make sure that the horse shows up for the race.
Yep.
If you break your leg, we got to shoot you.
Yep. And last UFC 203. Just run through this card real quick.
Really? I thought 202 was gonna be the end. What do you got?
Stipe against Alistair Overeem.
I love this fight.
Uh-huh.
Who you going for? I know you're.
I like Stipe.
Oh man.
But I would not be at all surprised if Alistair won this fight.
Alistair, I hate having a chance at the belt. He's the biggest loser, just jerk I've ever come across in all of the MMA. This is a guy this is not a nice guy.
Yep.
And Stipe, I think, is.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a good person.
Yeah.
And I would love him to knock out that Dutch dork.
The Dutch dork.
The Dutch dork. What you say, Troy?
The Dutch dork.
But Anderson or Alistair is looking really good with Greg Jackson's camp.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see how they calmed him down?
Yep.
And he's going in there and not just relying on his physical attributes. He's being smart.
Yeah.
Which is boring sometimes. Because he's like, all right, let him wear himself out. In the third round, he takes him out.
Yeah. That's going to be
That's a good fight.
I think that's going to be a good fight.
Who else is on that card?
Fabricio Verdum against Ben Rothwell.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 203 stacked, man. That's good.
I'm thinking someone's getting knocked out in that fight.
Oh, dude. I'm excited to see because Ben is so good right now. But Fabricio,
he's been really good for the last almost year now.
Yeah,
he's been just doing some good stuff in that heavyweight division.
100%. I'm really impressed with him. He was one of those guys. I remember when they had the IFL come out when they tried to manufacture those teams, and he came to be on that, and you're like, this guy almost looks like somebody is being funny, like on a comedy show, and said, "Hey, let's make an MMA fighter." He is one of the most impressive improvements. That it's not that he wasn't good, but he's a top heavyweight.
Yeah, I didn't write down their rankings, but I want to say he's like in the top 5.
If he's not, he's about to crack into it, and he should be. I think you've got Junior. I think is still in there. Stipe, Kane, Ben,
Kane was 2 coming
and
into
Alistair.
this fight. Yeah,
I think that's the 5.
I want to say Alistair might have been 4, and these 2 guys might have been like 2 and 3.
Yeah,
something along those lines. Uriah Faber's coming back.
Boo.
He's going against. I never heard of this guy, Jimmy Rivera.
I don't know.
19-1.
Wow.
I'm thinking that gives him a shot. But Faber, he can win any fight there is if there's not a belt on the line.
Except a belt.
When the belt's on the line, he can't do it. Can't get the job done.
I hate to say it because I remember him being the California kid.
Yeah.
He's not a kid anymore.
No.
And
He's about California middle-aged fighter.
I hate to say it, but the UFC probably did him a disservice by giving him so many shots.
Mm-hmm.
Because now it's become like was it Susan Lucci?
Yep.
Of MMA.
Yeah. Look up Susan Lucci.
As much as I hate this guy, I almost feel bad. 20 shots and you didn't get one of them.
Great day. That's rough.
Dude.
I mean, I always liked the dude, but I've heard he's a jerk too. So there you go.
Jerk. He's a jerk.
Yeah, he's Napoleon complex.
Dude, I don't know anything about that.
I don't either.
Do you know anything about that?
I'm a studly 5 foot.
I
go with 6. I go with 5'6", but
it needs to just be you need to slur better. You need to be. I'm 5 foot something, man. And what are we talking about?
I don't mind telling the world I'm a pocket rocket.
Rocket in my pocket.
And one other fight on here that I have said for a year and a half now, almost 2 years, was never going to happen. CM Punk may get in the octagon.
Is that 203?
203 against the legendary Mickey Gall.
Yeah, but that guy Mickey Gall, I saw him on Ariel Helwani. Did you see that?
No, I did not see that. I did see him fight.
He's like, I'm taking this for real, and I'm good.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm telling you.
I saw him. He was in a UFC. He went out and knocked somebody out.
Yeah.
And that was it. I was like, and you see Punk come in giggling. 2 days later, he's out. So 203. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. I mean, I said it wasn't going to happen, but you know what? I've been right before.
Dude, yeah. we'll see if this does happen. I think it will.
I hope so because I'm getting tired of hearing about him.
I think it will.
So
I hate to say this. This one I feel pretty good about, but I'm watching that 203, 202. Both of those sound good.
Now this will be the second WWE guy. Do you think there's anyone else that could have been in the UFC? Because there's one name that always pops into my mind right off the bat.
The Hardy Boys?
Yeah, no. You put a ladder in there and have them jump off of it. Then we got something.
And have a lot of mascara.
Yes. Glow in the dark paint.
To be honest, I don't know very many of the guys outside of like the Undertaker. I always thought if he was younger, because now he's broken.
Yeah, he's like
he's more up for DDP
now, yeah.
yoga.
But the one I always said was Kurt Angle.
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt in my mind he might have been title worthy.
I think so.
Could have cut down to that 205. I think he would have been definitely there.
Has he been a heel his whole career?
He come out the Olympian they tried to make him popular, and the crowd just went right against him, and he just ran with that.
That's smart.
I mean, he did stuff that was absolutely hilarious. Look up one of the things. It was him and Steve Austin, Stone Cold.
I love Stone
There in the
Cold.
back, Stone Cold has a cowboy hat on, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna start giggling here, but Kurt Angle had this like little tiny cowboy hat on,
I think I
and
saw some of
it was priceless.
You know, one of my favorite moments. It's stupid because it's not even a wrestling move or a fight. It was a stare down from wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Creed did that video for the WWE for that song "My Sacrifice,"
Mm-hmm.
and at the very beginning, they got a really strong beginning, and Steve Austin is in the ring, and The Rock shoots under the ropes at like 100 miles an hour,
Mm-hmm.
stands in base like boom,
Yep.
and they're eye to eye, and the words of the song is "Hello, my friend, we meet again,"
Mm-hmm.
and there was so much tension there. I was like, that's one of the coolest things I've ever seen, because both of those guys are Superman.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, oh, dude.
The one other one I would have put up in there was The Rock.
Yeah.
If he had gone,
He said he thought about it
I
for
mean,
real.
he's so athletic.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of those
And
guys.
he's intelligent. He's
Yeah.
not a dummy.
Yeah, and I was like, man, if he had done it, he would have picked it up really fast too.
Oh, dude.
It's just such, but
But
man,
I'm glad he didn't.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think he did all right for himself.
Yeah, well, not only that, but I like having him be
Mm-hmm.
bigger than life.
Yeah,
That's fun too.
yeah. I like being able to watch a movie, even a movie when I don't like some of the other people in it, and just go, look, there's The Rock.
Oh, dude.
I mean, did you ever
The
see
man.
Central Intelligence?
I saw it just the other week.
And
Popcorn movie. B.
dude, I loved it.
Did you?
I loved it.
I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
And there were some parts that I loved, but as an overall, it was kind of predictable.
I mean, some of the stuff he was doing, I don't know why, it was cracking me up.
Me and Connor watched it
Yeah.
together, and I had fun watching Connor crack up because to him, all of the cliche parts. This is the first time he'd seen
Yeah.
a lot of that
Ah,
cliche thing.
Youth. I miss not knowing all the stuff about movies.
Dude, that made it fun.
Mhm.
But even afterwards, we laughed all the way home in the car, in the truck, and
Does he like Kevin Hart?
I don't think he had an opinion one way or the
I do
other
not like
before.
Kevin Hart.
I like Kevin Hart.
I don't like Kevin Hart. We've had this discussion. You're wrong. I'm right. That's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay. And in your opinion, I'm wrong. You're right, and that's okay too.
That's the way
we
it
can
is.
agree that I'm right,
We can agree on a bunch of things.
but that's not one of them.
But yeah, it was fun.
Mhm.
Hey, this week, Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. No, Suicide Squad comes out on the 2nd,
Dadgummit.
the 5th. The 5th.
I thought I saw like yesterday. Hey, this week Suicide Squad, and I was like,
No,
what's coming out this week?
I don't know what's coming out this week because I would think Bourne has got to be coming out soon.
Oh,
I think
I think that's another. I think that's later.
another couple weeks. In 2 weeks, on Monday, in 2 weeks, The Killing Joke
Where's that at?
in Roanoke,
In Roanoke. What
I-
time?
7:30.
We already got tickets.
I already got tickets. If I had known at the time, because they did not have them in Lynchburg. Later on, they put them in Lynchburg. Like, really?
Would they have the film here?
Yeah,
Let's sell the tickets and go to this one, or is this one all sold
they're
out?
all on my phone, not physical
Ah.
copies. I'm like,
Transfer.
Darn it.
That's okay. And what
Yeah.
time did you say it was? 7:30.
7:30.
Well, it is what it is.
Yeah,
I'll take a night off. I need a break.
yeah.
And what's that date?
Monday the 25th.
Okay. I was gonna say I hope it's not the week I'm going on vacation. I'm going the first week of August to Holden Beach.
Oh.
Love that.
Vacation, all I ever wanted.
What do you do when you go on vacation? What's like your thing?
Well, we've kind of mentioned this before, but I was on dialysis so long
Oh.
that I grew to not going anywhere.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And
yeah.
like now I go to Comic-Con and not San Diego, I wish, but Comic-Con in Charlotte, for a couple of days off.
Yeah.
Something like that. I just never go anywhere.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you what.
I just got used to, I have to go somewhere and I have to set up a dialysis unit,
Right.
and that just ruins the whole thing.
Right.
Now I can go to these places, and I guess I'm still in that mindset.
You need to change that.
I do.
That.
I do. I don't like beaches though, because I don't like sand. We talked about that too.
Yeah.
I like bikinis. They should be off the beach.
Get a wetsuit. Walk around the Incredible D with big white D on that wetsuit.
The Simply Incredible Podcast.
Walk around with a microphone and interview these chicks. You'd be a hit, dude.
I would be a hit.
Hey, comment in the section below if you'd like to see the D in a wetsuit interviewing these beautiful bikini ladies this summer. I think the Incredible D needs to be doing that.
They would actually say this. We need to see the beautiful bikinis, but can we edit him out?
No, I'm telling you. Trust me. I know these things.
Mm-hmm.
I know these things. Don't you love when someone says that? Like, psychology. No, really, trust me. I know about psychology. It's like, shut up. You don't know about nothing.
Well, that's exactly what I know. Nothing about nothing.
Dude,
But
I'm telling you, you do that, and you will get to 1,000 subscribers.
in no time at all.
Like in that first hour, if you get that wetsuit on, we paint a big D on it. You get a snorkel with a mask on top.
The visual on this is epic.
You don't even need the. You can't put the flippers on because you would be shut down.
That would be hilarious. Me walking down there with a microphone, flippers. We'd have white flippers to go with it.
Dennis, Andy, I know you guys are listening. Comment below. Let's get this to happen.
Dr. Fudge, what do you think about this?
He says, I don't want to see you in a wetsuit.
What he wants to know is about the conspiracies. That's what it is. It's a conspiracy to get me in a wetsuit.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Government intervention.
The men in black have told me he needs to be in a black wetsuit.
It changed colors on us?
No?
It was white a second ago.
It's different. It's a white D on it.
Oh.
Big white D. It's
No,
gonna
I
look
thought
like
it was white with like a.
no, you're gonna
like
like a big. You're gonna be like a big penguin.
I wouldn't say big penguin, but yeah.
Compare, dude.
And
You're gonna be the Brock
and we-
Lesnar of penguins. These things are knee high. You're a giant in this world. You ought to dig and explore that.
What was that line? Doggone it. In the land of the dwarfs, the midget is king.
The midget is king.
Dang. It's just awesome.
You need to do it, man.
We'll see. We'll see how that works out for us.
I'm telling you, you start doing that kind of stuff as your thing at Comic Cons and stuff.
Yes.
We will
A
get.
guy in a wetsuit walking around Comic-Con.
You
With
will
flippers.
have 100,000. We'd be famous.
I can see me now.
We'd be famous.
In my room. This is the new comic book I got with my flippers on.
Dude, I'm telling you, we'd be famous. I bet you Jim Lee does a drawing of you.
Comment on this and what do you think?
Neil Adams is not going to charge you for the next picture.
Next picture. That's right.
You charge him.
Yeah, exactly right.
$20, Neil. Spit it out there.
Yeah.
No.
I get
Nothing but respect, Neil.
I get commissions on his artwork of me and flippers.
Oh Lord. Stay tuned. Give me another week. This is happening.
I do have to lose weight to do that though.
No, that's why we want the rotund middle.
Now
That is a funny wetsuit pick.
you know what? I'm thinking right now I should have one of those floats around me with like the little like Loch Ness monster head on it. So
No wetsuit is better than the Loch Ness floaty.
No, in the wetsuit with like the little pull thing. I had like the little things on my arms.
No.
The little floaties on my arms.
I'm telling you here, less is more. I will design this. I'm your new manager.
There it is. There it is.
And people, I'm telling you, the Incredible D, when they see that thing walking down the beach, they'll be like, "Did you see that? That was incredible."
They will say, "Did you see that?" Followed by, "That was not incredible."
No, incredible has a lot of different turns it can take.
This is true. That was incredibly bad.
All right.
But next week, conspiracies. It has been conspiring against us for a couple of weeks.
If we don't get shut down
If we don't get shut down.
by the man.
And Mulder and Scully will be in here with us. Anything else?
Dude, I think we're good, man. This week we'll take a look at also some movies, bringing back Comic Book Corner, and maybe a couple of movies if me and Connor can get caught up.
Yeah.
So we can talk about some stuff.
Yeah.
We got a lot of stuff. Oh, and I got one that I want to talk about with conspiracy theories. Bobcat Goldthwait's movie that I watched, Willow Creek.
I do not know this movie.
Bigfoot found footage film.
Is this on YouTube or Netflix?
You can watch it on YouTube, but it's a full real movie.
Really?
It's good.
This Bobcat looks a little bit like a bobcat.
I'm telling you, it's a good movie.
I always like Bobcat too, by the way.
There's a scene in the this tent that is because like a suspense film. It's good.
I have to look that up.
I enjoyed it.
I have to check that out. Well, Peasy missed some epicness, but you know what? Next week maybe if we allow him back on the show.
Hurry up and get back, and we hope you feel better
Mm-hmm.
if you're feeling bad or that everything is doing okay. I always get worried about Peasy.
Or if he's lazy.
Could be lazy.
Could be lazy. I'm good at that. I have a skill. I have a gift.
Hurry up and get back. We need the third musketeer.
Yes. The trifecta of Goofy.
Affecta.
And that's all we got. And you guys have an incredible day.
See ya!